Joining us now is Bob Herbert, former New York Times columnist, now a distinguished senior fellow at Demos and a contributor to PolicyShop.net. Bob, it's nice to see you. Thanks for coming in.
Great to see you, Rachel.
I feel like it is a slur against the Republican Party to say their #1 priority is getting rid of this president. And it is their self-identified raison d'etre, their self-identified reason for being right now. I almost feel guilty saying it. What explains why they would be claiming this as the thing they want to be nationally known for?
You know, they're so obsessed, they almost don't care. They've really been consistent, as you just pointed out. They will do anything. They want to get rid of Barack Obama. They want to recapture the White House. I don't think they care about the economy. I don't think they care about this job situation. And obviously, they don't care about the problems that will come up if these cities and towns keep laying off police officers.
One of these things, this feels to me like one of these things where maybe it's Republican voters and the Republican base are not horrified by hearing it's not jobs, it's Obama who's the problem. But the rest of the country sort of sees that as crass. Is this one of those things where there is sort of a Republican set of mores and the rest of the country just really sees things differently? Or
you know, it's hard for me to believe that the Republican electorate in toto would follow this line. I mean, I assume the majority of Republicans are in favor of this. Otherwise, the leadership, you know, would maybe have a change of tune. They're looking at polls and that sort of thing. But, you know, the elections are generally decided by these so-called middle-of-the-road voters, many of them suburban independents and that sort of thing. And the real craziness that we see going on in the Republican Party, some of which you were detailing at the top of the show, I think tends to frighten these voters, and then that tends to play towards Obama, who is seen as a reasonable person, whatever one thinks about the policies or some of the things that the administration is doing.
You know, that has been, we've heard that again and again from the White House, I think, at some of their more candid moments, that even in the face of progressives pushing the president to be more combative, more pugilistic toward the Republicans, really calling them out. We have seen some of that. I think they see the downside of that is the president stopping seeming as reasonable as he does, that in scary times.
I think that's true. I mean, I'm one of the ones that wish the president had been more combative, you know. But then you look at the Republican field and you almost can't believe, you know, what you're seeing with the Rick Perry craziness and Herman Cain and Michelle Bachmann, although I guess Bachmann is over by now. But the real problem is, I mean, we know how combative politics has become, but the real problem is that a lot of the stuff the Republicans are dealing with now is really harmful to individuals and harmful to the national interest overall. I mean, the economy right now is in a very delicate situation, and economists tell us that there's a danger of another recession coming up over the next year or so. You start throwing these people out of work in state and local governments, for example, when in fact you could do something to prevent that. That just weakens the economy more. And then, you know, I know there's controversy over the way, over Joe Biden's recent comments, but the simple fact of the matter is, when you start slashing police forces the way some of these towns and cities have been doing lately, you do endanger public safety, and crime does tend to go up.
In terms of the White House's approach here, I would have thought that first responders, that's breaking out that first responders money would have meant that the first responders money would have passed. I was actually surprised that it did not get through the Senate because of the Republican filibuster there. But now the White House laying out steps that President Obama can take on his own, some smaller steps, frankly, on student loans, and potentially a larger step on housing. What do you make of that strategy?
I think it's the only thing he's got left to do, and I think it's smart, but I think it's primarily political. I don't think that it will save or a lot of jobs or create many jobs, and I don't think it will do much for the economy. But I think that what we've been watching recently has mostly been political. It's all about the presidential race. I mean, the truth is the Republicans were never going to pass the president's jobs bill. Whether, you know, even now things can get so bad that they might pass one component or another, you know, I don't know. But I think the Republicans have shown that they are willing to play chicken all the way and do things that are just out and out harmful to people if they think that it will help them capture the White House next year.
Bob Herbert, former New York Times columnist, distinguished senior fellow at Demos and a contributor at PolicyShop.net. Bob, thank you for coming in.
Great to see you.
Good to see you.